and says it's 2 years and it's $12.5 million. And Jay, that is the first time in this entire process that a specific dollar figure had even been mentioned. So if you're Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson and the Oilers and you're sitting there negotiating, if it's that, with the best player in the world, it could be 15, 16, 17, who knows? And the first number they spit out is 12.5. You better believe it got done quickly after that. So quite the deal here for McDavid.
Connor McDavid just changed the game, and Brad Treliving felt it instantly. The moment McDavid's $12.5 million deal hit the news, phones across NHL front offices started buzzing. For Toronto's general manager, the message was loud and clear. The league's best player just took less money, and that single move could rewrite how the Maple Leafs handle every contract from here on. Connor McDavid's 2-year, $25 million contract extension with the Edmonton Oilers carries an average annual value of $12.5 million. The deal was confirmed Sunday by Reuters and multiple league sources. It locks the NHL's top scorer through the 2027 season.
So I was really surprised when I saw it was 12 and a half, but I'm not surprised by the term. I'm not surprised at all he signed. I thought he would sign eventually. I think he just wanted to kind of send a message to the Oilers, never to take him for granted and always have the pedal to the metal and be about winning above all else. But I will say, when I saw the number, someone sent me the number, I was like, I did a double take. I was like, are you sure that you didn't make a mistake here? Because I didn't believe it the first time I saw it.
Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet reacted first. In his interview, he said, I did a double take. Someone sent me the number and I said, are you sure you didn't make a mistake? Because I didn't believe it the first time I saw it. Friedman added that many insiders expected McDavid's contract to be much higher. A lot of people thought when Kaprizov signed for 17, McDavid would sign for 20, he said. Friedman estimated McDavid's range would be between 14 and 15 million per season. Instead, McDavid accepted 12.5. Friedman said the term was not the surprise, the number was. He explained that McDavid's decision was driven by one motive: winning. He wanted to send a message to the Oilers never to take him for granted and always have the pedal to the metal, Friedman said. The shock in Toronto came almost instantly. The Maple Leafs have one of the most top-heavy salary structures in the NHL. Austin Matthews' current contract carries a cap hit of $13.25 million. Mitch Marner's number sits at $10.93 million. John Tavares earns $11 million. Brad Treliving, who took over as Toronto's general manager in May 2023, has publicly supported his star players. But McDavid's deal changed the math. A league-leading player, the best scorer and reigning MVP, just accepted less than Matthews. According to Friedman, that shift will not go unnoticed. General managers will now point to McDavid's contract when negotiating with players demanding more, he said. That comment puts direct pressure on Treliving's upcoming work. Marner is eligible for an extension. William Nylander's new deal begins next season, and goaltender Ilya Samsonov is also due for renewal. With McDavid taking less, agents across the league are preparing for a harder line from teams. Friedman said, "There's no doubt in my mind that teams are going to say, hey, this is what the best player in the world took." He added that some agents will respond with a familiar phrase. That may be his situation, but it's not my situation. The balance between those two ideas now defines the Maple Leafs' financial outlook. McDavid's contract effectively redraws the league's pay scale. It becomes a benchmark and a problem for clubs paying elite talent at higher levels. Friedman said McDavid's move mirrors Sidney Crosby's approach. Crosby also kept his number below market value during his career. Both players want to win and never be seen as an impediment to their team's winning, Friedman said. Toronto's situation differs sharply. The Maple Leafs have 4 forwards taking up nearly half the team's salary cap. Analysts note that this limits depth signings and flexibility. McDavid's decision shows the opposite model, a superstar accepting less to strengthen the lineup around him. Sources close to the team say Treliving and his front office staff were surprised by how low the number came in. McDavid's $12.5 million average value instantly reset comparisons used in negotiations league-wide. Sportsnet's report emphasized that McDavid's new number changes expectations for general managers. It's going to be used in contract talks across the league, Friedman said. Every GM will bring it up. In Toronto, the effect is immediate. Matthews' extension begins this season. Marner's next negotiation could open as early as July. Team officials will now face questions about whether Toronto's stars should be earning more than McDavid, who just recorded a 132-point season and 2 straight playoff runs to the Western Conference Final. The Maple Leafs' payroll pressure is not new, but McDavid's deal exposes it further. Rival executives now argue that Toronto's cap structure limits championship potential. Friedman said McDavid's deal was about accountability. He wanted to remind the Oilers to always be about winning above all else, he said. That statement now doubles as a contrast for the Maple Leafs' current situation. Treliving's challenge is twofold: maintain roster depth under cap constraints and prepare for upcoming renewals without exceeding the optics McDavid has just created. League analysts believe Toronto's front office must now justify its salary model publicly and privately. According to Reuters, McDavid's short-term deal also signals flexibility. It keeps pressure on Edmonton's management to remain competitive while leaving options open for 2027. That timeline may align with Toronto's next major cap restructuring. One reason insiders say Treliving is watching closely. McDavid's decision to take less money could pressure other franchises, especially the Maple Leafs, to justify their top-heavy payrolls. Friedman predicted this would happen, saying general managers will now point to McDavid's contract when negotiating with players demanding more. This influence extends beyond Toronto. Teams like Colorado, New Jersey, and Tampa Bay are also entering key contract years. But Toronto's profile makes it the center of the conversation. Sportsnet analysts pointed out that if McDavid, the league's most valuable player, accepts $12.5 million, it challenges the logic behind other elite contracts surpassing that figure. Friedman called McDavid's number below market and team-friendly. That perception creates a contrast. The Oilers' captain prioritized competitiveness over personal gain. Toronto's leadership, meanwhile, must now navigate higher deals under tighter margins. Inside the Leafs organization, the immediate discussion centers on optics. Multiple reports say executives were quick to compare internal cap figures once McDavid's contract was announced. Treliving's task is to manage expectations among both players and agents who now face public comparison to McDavid's decision. The next months could determine how teams respond to this new standard. If Toronto chooses to hold firm under the $12.5 million ceiling, it could redefine upper-tier negotiations across the league. McDavid's deal has done more than surprise insiders. It has shifted power in the room, from players to management. As Friedman summarized, if the best player in the world is willing to do this, then we have to do that too. That statement now hangs over Brad Treliving's desk in Toronto.
I guess we could start with the trade.
Yep.
Connor Ingram, just the thought behind that, and what's the plan for him?
Plan for him is to go to Bakersfield. He's not been in training camp right now, so we need to get him going, get him, up to speed. And so I just spoke to him a few minutes ago, and he's excited for a new opportunity, for a fresh start. And so the plan is for him to go
Edmonton Oilers
to
general
Bakersfield.
manager Stan Bowman finally spoke. His words about Connor McDavid's future made headlines everywhere. McDavid, already one of the greatest players in the game, is moving toward the end of his contract. Bowman's comments gave a rare look at what the Oilers may be planning next.
Do you expect to go into the season without an extension in place for McDavid at this point?
No, I don't have expectations either way on that. I think we're continuing to talk to Judd regularly. I talk to him almost every day, and had good chats with Connor all along the way too. So I guess I don't like to make predictions. We'll see where it goes.
Stan Bowman spoke about Connor McDavid's contract situation at a press event. Reporters asked if McDavid's next deal would be linked to Kirill Kaprizov's new contract. Kaprizov had just signed an 8-year, $136 million extension with the Minnesota Wild, the richest deal in NHL history. His contract averages $17 million per year. Many said it sets the floor for McDavid's next deal.
How does the Kaprizov deal impact the negotiations, or does it?
I mean, you'd have to ask them on that. I don't know. I mean, I think in some ways Connor's he's a unique player. There's no one in the world like him. So I don't have a comment on that, whether it would be impacting it at all.
Bowman answered directly. He said, I mean, you'd have to ask them, Connor and his agent Jeff Jackson, on that. I don't know. He explained that every case is different. He added, in some ways, Connor's he's a unique player. There's no one in the world like him. Bowman said he had no clear timeline for McDavid's decision. I don't have expectations either way, he explained. He said that he talks to McDavid's agent often. I talk to him almost every day and have had good chats with Connor all along the way too. He stressed that the talks have been very positive. Bowman even noted McDavid's play in the preseason. He looked in rare form the other night, which is good to see. By not tying McDavid's deal to Kaprizov's contract, Bowman showed that the Oilers may be planning a different structure. McDavid is entering the final year of his current 8-year, $100 million contract. That deal pays him an average of $12.5 million a year. In the 2025-26 season, his salary drops to $10 million. Bowman said he wants nothing more to win in Edmonton. He added that McDavid is going through his own process. Bowman said management has to respect that process. In the 2024-25 season, McDavid scored 100 points in 67 games. That marked his 5th season in a row with 100 points. Over his career, he has 1,082 points in 712 games. These numbers place him among the most productive players in league history. When Kaprizov signed his record deal, many thought McDavid's contract would automatically be larger. Bowman dismissed that idea. I don't have a comment on that, whether it would be impacting it at all, he said. He repeated that McDavid is a special case, different from anyone else in the league. Bowman said he is in close contact with Judd Moldaver, McDavid's agent. David's situation has now become the most followed contract story in the NHL. Reporters, fans, and rival teams are watching closely. Kaprizov's new deal set a new record, but Bowman has made it clear that McDavid's case stands alone. The Oilers have to balance many factors. They need to keep the roster strong while managing the league's salary cap rules. McDavid's next deal will play a huge part in that balance. The Oilers' approach appears careful. They do not want to rush or set false timelines. Bowman has repeated that both sides are still talking often. He has said the discussions are positive. He has already won multiple scoring titles. He has been the league's most valuable player 3 times. He also became the 2nd fastest player in NHL history to record 100 playoff assists. Edmonton has reached the Stanley Cup final 2 seasons in a row, but lost both times. After those defeats, reporters said the Oilers must be devastated. McDavid pushed back on that idea. He said the team remains focused and ready to compete. His response showed that he wants to move forward, not dwell on past losses. Kaprizov's deal with Minnesota is now the richest in league history. Still, Bowman repeated that McDavid is a different case. He stressed that Edmonton does not see McDavid's value as linked to anyone else's contract. Connor's just a unique player. There's no one in the world like that. Statement shows how Edmonton may be planning. They may be ready to structure a deal that fits only McDavid. It might not follow the pattern set by Kaprizov or Draisaitl. Right now, McDavid's future remains open. His contract runs out after this season. Talks are ongoing. The Oilers' general manager says those talks are strong. The hockey world waits to see what will happen.
I'd like to officially request a trade to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
What happens if Connor McDavid leaves Edmonton and joins Toronto?
The Connor McDavid contract not being signed. There's no extension in place. There's thoughts he might enter the season on the final year. Just, call it lame duck or just whatever you want to call it. But Yeah, Oiler media, they're going to be
We'll
going
have a
one
slant.
way. I just figured you're probably the guy. People be
Yeah.
waiting to hear what you think.
Because people in Toronto, they're clearly cheerleading for them to go to the
Yeah,
Leafs.
Toronto, they
People
want
in
him in
Edmonton.
there.
He's never going to leave. Everyone loves Edmonton. It's a great city. Just listen to all these people in Edmonton tell you so. So you need someone that's going to play it down the middle.
Yeah.
Straight facts.
Right? No bias.
I mean, is there concern if you're an Oiler fan?
If you had asked an Oiler fan after the Stanley Cup final what date they should be worried about Connor McDavid not being signed, you've passed all those dates.
It could change the whole NHL. It could break the West and build the East. And no one would be ready for it. If Connor McDavid ever left Edmonton and played in Toronto, the entire hockey world would feel it. The story is not just a dream. It's closer to being possible than ever before. Connor McDavid still has time left on his contract with the Edmonton Oilers, but he hasn't signed a new deal yet. His current contract was for 8 years and $100 million. It ends after the 2025 to 26 season. The Oilers general manager, Stan Bowman, said he believes McDavid wants to stay, but McDavid also said he isn't rushing. He said he will take his time with his family and agent before making a decision. This delay has fans and insiders talking. Some now think McDavid might look at other teams when the time comes. One of those teams is the Toronto Maple Leafs. NHL expert Pierre LeBrun said Toronto is one of the teams watching McDavid's situation closely. Other insiders have said the idea of him going to Toronto no longer seems outlandish. McDavid grew up in Ontario. That's the same place the Leafs call home. And now that Toronto traded away Mitch Marner, the team has space on the roster. That move cleared up cap space and gave the Leafs a reason to go after another big-name forward. Right now, the Leafs have about $1.9 million in free space. That's not enough for McDavid, but experts say the Leafs might wait until the salary cap goes up. That would help teams like Toronto sign big players in the future. NHL reports say the cap will rise in the coming years. To sign McDavid, Toronto would need to trade or release other players. His next contract could be the biggest in NHL history. Some think he might earn around $19 million per season. The Leafs have already changed a lot. Marner, one of their best players, is gone. He said leaving Toronto wasn't easy. He said it was the place where he fell in love with hockey. Now the team has to rebuild its forward lines. Some think they are saving space and planning for someone big, and some believe that player is Connor McDavid. If McDavid signed with Toronto, the offense would change right away. The Oilers would feel it right away too. McDavid has been their star for years. Last season, he had 100 points in just 67 games. He also added 33 points in 22 playoff games. Losing him would be a major blow. The Oilers might have to rebuild or trade other players like Leon Draisaitl. His salary takes up $14 million in cap space every year. If McDavid leaves, the team may have to build around Draisaitl or start over. The Oilers' playoff hopes would change fast. Some reports say McDavid might not want a long deal after this one. One article said he may avoid signing past 2026. If that's true, it gives teams like Toronto more hope. It also adds pressure on Edmonton to act fast. Media experts have shared how big this move could be. One said, "There isn't a day that goes by that the Maple Leafs front office isn't internally wondering what's happening with Connor McDavid and the Oilers." Another said Toronto is waiting on McDavid's decision. If McDavid moved to Toronto, the NHL could shift overnight. The Maple Leafs would become instant title favorites. With Austin Matthews and McDavid on the same team, their offense would be one of the best in the league. The power play would be dangerous. Fans would pack the building. TV ratings would go up. Toronto's current roster has 23 players. Their cap space is tight, but experts say they could trade one or two players to make room. Some analysts believe the Leafs should not trade right now. Instead, they say wait until 2026 and then make the big move when McDavid is free. Some say Edmonton could offer a cheaper deal just to keep him. That would give McDavid a chance to stay with the Oilers and keep winning. But if he really wants to go home to Ontario, the deal won't matter. The story would then become bigger than just numbers. Fans in both cities already have strong opinions. Toronto fans dream about the homecoming. Edmonton fans worry about losing their star. The debate is loud on social media. Some say it would ruin the Oilers. Others say it would save the Leafs. There are many things that would have to happen. McDavid would need to finish this season without signing. The NHL salary cap would need to rise, and both teams would have to make bold choices. But right now, the door is not shut. McDavid hasn't signed. Toronto has cleared room. The league is watching. And if it ever happens, the move would shake the NHL like never before. The idea is no longer just a dream. For some, it's a real plan. For others, it's a nightmare. If McDavid ever puts on a Toronto jersey, it would be one of the biggest moments in hockey history. It would leave fans, teams, and the entire league speechless.
All the pieces are here for 25-26. You know, when the time's right, the moment's right, I think it'll just be a feeling. As of right now, just excited to get the season.
Connor McDavid has faced the same question over and over about his future. This time, he'd had enough. His frustration showed, and then he snapped with blunt words that silenced the room. He said, "Nothing's really changed as of now."
Time off, kind of what's your approach now? Is it a day thing? Is it a week thing, a month thing for the contract?
Yeah, not really much to report. Obviously we think about it, we talk about it, gauge where we're at, what we're feeling. Yeah, nothing's really changed as of now. And
McDavid now enters the final year of his 8-year, $100 million contract. His words landed hard because fans and reporters expected news of a deal. Instead, he made it clear there is no rush. Connor McDavid is in the last season of a $100 million contract. That deal began in 2017 and runs through the end of the 2025-26